What is going on, chums, and welcome back to the A Game with Chums podcast. I'm your host this week, Rory, and I'm joined, as always, by the guy who's on the tropical beach, because apparently you just can't hack it in the UK when it comes to winter. He's got to escape to the Bahamas. How are you, Paul?
As you can see, the sun is just too strong for me, man. It's just blaring on my face. But yeah, man, as you can see, this is a real beach. You can see the waves move.
You can see movement and everything.
Yeah,
it's definitely legit.
This is 100%, man. I thought I've had enough. I slipped out of the UK, avoided quarantine. Now I'm in some generic Bahamas beach. I don't know, somewhere in the Caribbean. Yeah. But I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, it's getting to that time of year. It's Christmas time's coming, and that's my favorite time of the year because everyone is in a slightly better mood than they normally are. People,
unless you're trying to buy Christmas presents last minute, then they're not in the good mood.
Yeah, I always get mine like weeks before, but it's like that old Harry Enfield sketch that he did years ago when I was like a wee lad. It was one where
that was a long while ago.
He was like, "Oh, come on, mate, it's Christmas." Basically, he did loads of outrageous stuff, and when anyone complained, he was like, "Oh, come on, mate, it's Christmas." So, yeah, that's how I feel at the moment, mate. That's how I feel. But yeah, how are you, Mr. Rawls? You're looking very
good,
very in control,
large and in charge. Yeah, I'm
control,
good. I also enjoy this time of year. It's good times. Get indoors and knock your microphone. Get all cozy. Put some terrible Christmas films on, maybe like that one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Turbo Man.
Jingle all the way.
Like that. That's the one. Couldn't remember the name. Thank you. But yeah, it's a good time of year. You eat too much crap, drink too much crap, and just enjoy yourself as the nights close in. And I quite like it when it gets dark earlier. I don't know. A lot of people hate that. Maybe it's a bit of seasonal affective disorder, but I quite like it. But yeah, I'm quite happy at the moment as we head into Christmas. So, what have you been up to, Paul, other than looking forward to the festive period? What you've been watching, what you've been playing, all that good stuff that we always do.
None of your fucking business. That's what I've been doing.
Wow.
How about that?
Okay, fine.
How about that? Yeah, this is the end of it. Yeah, man. What have I been watching? Not watching much. Carrying on watching Hawkeye. It's pretty good. I actually started today rewatching Cowboy Bebop on Amazon Prime.
It's been cancelled.
Well, the live action's been cancelled, and
you're watching the original anime?
I'm watching the original, man. Yeah, I'm watching the original anime, man. None of that live action crap. I was just like, you know what? I really just feel like watching Spike and Jet and Faye get up to shenanigans, and so I just started rewatching it today. I got up to episode 4. No, oh shit! What's the one called? It's the iconic one. Episode 6, I think. It's not Honky Tonk Woman. It's the one where Spike meets Vicious again. Oh, I can't remember that one. What was that called? Something
I think
Blues.
It is episode 6. I can't remember the name.
Oh, yeah, but I got up to that, and then yeah, man, I've been playing Halo Infinite, to be more precise. The campaign got released this week.
It did.
Been a great success.
Success.
Very good. And yeah, man, we'll go over that a bit more in gaming news. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. Streaming Apex badly, playing ranked, just getting destroyed. Streaming Tomb Raider. But speaking of which, I might actually, let me take my glasses off. I might actually stream some multiplayer of Halo. I might stream Halo multiplayer, even though I don't play Halo multiplayer that often. I kind of feel like I should, because we talk about it a lot, and I feel like I should just stream a bit of it and see how that goes. But yeah, let me refer the question to you, Mr. Ross. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? What have you been playing? Who you've been seeing? Who you've been dating? Who you've been hating? I don't know. Tell me.
I haven't been seeing anyone. I've been locked safely inside as Omicron ravages the country. What have I been watching? I've been watching Wheel of Time, the Amazon's new expensive fantasy show, and I'm kind of mixed on it. It feels a bit like you can tell they threw. I think the average spend per episode is like 10 million, which is like Game of Thrones territory. You can tell they threw a lot of money at the screen, but the cast doesn't really feel like it reflects that.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of young unknown actors, which is no bad thing. But when you're trying to make like your next Game of Thrones or something, I feel like the cast needs to be a bit of a step up. It's kind of like you have Rosamund Pike in it, who is good. She's Rosamund Pike, and then you've got she's like up here, and then everyone else is sort of like a step below, and it creates a bit of a strange disconnect. And it's okay. I don't think it's amazing. It has made me slightly wary of the Lord of the Rings series that's coming up because I've never read the Wheel of Time books. A friend of mine read them years back and was always raving about them, but I don't have that emotional attachment to it, whereas I do with Lord of the Rings. So if Lord of the Rings is like as kind of okay as this, I'm going to be very disappointed. So it's made me slightly wary of that. But other than that, I've been watching Arcane, slowly making my way through that. I've watched 5 episodes. It's very good. Just sort of like watching an episode every few days when I feel like it. It is a very good show. Definitely worth watching. I think I mentioned it in the last podcast. I've never played League of Legends. I know virtually nothing about it, but I'm enjoying the show quite a lot. And then I have been playing Halo Infinite, as you have, the campaign, which, yeah, we'll get into a bit more in depth on that because I think it deserves a bit of discussion. And also, launching the day before that was Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the latest expansion, which I also did an unboxing of. You can see the collector's edition Paladin statue from that. I did an unboxing for that. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It was the first unboxing of the Endwalker collector's box up on YouTube, number 1. And I believe at this point it's still the one with the highest views. So go and give it some more views. But yeah, I've been trying to play that. There's huge queues at the moment, as you would expect at the beginning of a new expansion. So it's like you're queuing for 2-3 hours to get in. So I've just been playing it at sort of like 45 minutes at lunchtime when there's very low queues. So I haven't put more than about 4 hours into it at this point, which is a shame. But between that and Halo, that's taken up the vast majority of my time, to be honest. Just very little else, very little time for anything else, which is also why I haven't really finished Arcane yet. But with that, I guess we're going to get into gaming news. What's been going on in the world of gaming? And we'll leave Halo, the launch of Halo, till last because obviously Halo did just launch. But we'll talk about that a little bit at the end of the news segment because I'm sure we both have things we want to say about the campaign. But what else has been happening in the week or so since we last recorded?
Well, the big one is the Game Awards happened.
They did.
Yeah, some new announcements were made during the Game Awards. A lot of trailers were shown, and the yes, and what else has been happening? I don't know what else has been happening in the world of gaming.
Well, 2 big games launched, as we've already mentioned. Halo and Endwalker, which we've mentioned. 2 big releases. Obviously, this is like, I think we're mainly past. These are 2 late releases in the year. Most of the big stuff usually comes out in November, so I don't think there's anything else coming out in the rest of the year. But the 2 big releases this week, literally a day apart. And Sony bought a new studio, which was, let me refresh my memory here, Valkyrie Entertainment, who are I think they're like 45 people. They're a support studio, and they've recently worked on Halo Infinite, provided support on that. So
are they going to be supporting like the big Sony studios like Naughty Dog or Santa Monica or something like that? Probably,
yeah, I'm guessing.
The big ones.
I wonder if Sony will just keep them as they are, or if they'll just try and make some sort of big, sort of cross-organizational support team. Because I think it's a smart investment because games are getting bigger and more complex all the time, and you look at the credits for these big games, and it's like oh, they're made by a studio of like 300 people, but in the credits there's like 3,000 because of contractors and outsourcing and support studios and everything. So I think it makes sense to sort of secure the services of some of those teams. But yeah, I think this is a fairly small one. As I say, I think they're like 45 people. But I think it's going to support studios are going to be more and more important as we go forward, especially with like more players buying studios up. Like you've got Tencent, almost seem to be buying up a lot of studios, or at least sort of heavily investing in them. You've got THQ Nordic, or Embracer as they're now called, who've got like 50 studios now. They just seem to be buying someone new every week. So talent's being snapped up all over the place. I think these support studios are going to be more and more important as we sort of move forward. So I think it's a smart acquisition from Sony, even if it's not like a particularly exciting one for PlayStation fans. You might look at it and go, oh, they're not making their own games, why should I care? But they're going to be helping, I should imagine, their other big studios to get stuff out the door. And, you know, games are taking longer than ever to develop now. So it's going to be important, I think. But has anything else happened? We're going to talk about the Game Awards a little bit more in depth. But beyond that, I think we're in a bit of a slow period, really, because I say I think all the big releases tend to come out sort of November, and there's not a great deal of news other than from the Game Awards. So I guess we'll briefly talk about Halo Infinite's campaign. How are you finding it so far? How long have you? How many hours have you put in at this point? Do you reckon?
About 2.
Are you in the open world yet? Or
I'm in the open world. Because I managed to play it after I finish work, and my working hours is like 3 to midnight in UK time. And so I always play after I finish. I played it a bit. So I haven't actually played much more of it. So I've got to the open world, but from what I've played, and I cleared the area. You know, the first area you have to clear to get your Pelican to be able to land and everything like that. I've done that.
Acrimonious.
Yeah, so I've done that. Well, you could tell it's next gen or current gen because the amount of enemies that's on there. I was like, damn, this is a lot of enemies.
There are some big engagements.
Yeah, but it's good, man. It's like I do like the grapple hook, the movement that gives the chief, and the upgrades you could do to that are pretty fucking good, man. Obviously, you showed me some clips of what you've been doing with that grapple hook, and yeah,
so much fun.
It looks pretty cool, man. But even when you were like in sort of classic Halo in the opening part, when you're on, you know, going through the corridors and the ship, that's sort of classic Halo because it's very linear and stuff like that. But that was still good fun. I thought the gameplay smooth. They've tightened it up a lot more since I remember when I first played Halo 4, and I was just like, I don't know, the combat felt a bit floaty, if you know what I mean. It didn't feel weighty when I shot the guns, and sometimes it just looked like the grunts or some of the Covenant enemies just fell over. It didn't feel like I killed them, like I hit them. But with this, I felt like the impact of every shot and stuff is like it's really meaty. So I've been enjoying it. I will actually play some more after we've done this podcast. I might stream it. I might play it. I'll probably actually play it. No, I will play it on my, like, I won't stream it. I'll just play it. I'll probably stream, like I said, the multiplayer, but I will play the campaign on my own, so to speak. But yeah, man, like you played a much more of it. It's a long game actually, because I've heard some people it took 30 hours for them to do everything. That's quite long. That's like an RPG length, man. That's just long. Normally Halo's about 8 hours max, 8-9 hours. It's been getting shorter and shorter, but this one is like 30 hours. So
yeah, apparently if you just do the main missions and ignore everything else, it's like 10 to 12, which is still a decent length for an FPS game. Well, it's a good length for an FPS campaign. Most of them are well under that. I've got 8 hours on the clock at the moment, and a completion timer tells me I'm at 30% complete. So yeah, it's a new Halo. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to try and find everything, so it's going to take me a long time. But if I'm going at the current pace, it's probably going to, that's going to be like 24 hours, but I think it'll probably be a bit more than that. So I'm just enjoying just wandering around the world, climbing up mountains with the grapple shot, and just doing crazy things with the like the way the physics system works. It's always been a bit of a strength with Halo in the way like weird physics collisions happened, and it spawned things like warthog launches and stuff like that. And you can still do stuff like that in this, but only coupled with a grappling hook. And the way you can upgrade the grapple as well. I've got just one more upgrade to go on the grapple until it's fully upgraded, and you can make it electrified. So when you grapple someone, they get stunned, and then you can do it. So if you grapple someone, then hold melee, then you basically do a rocket punch at them, which is amazing. And then I think the final upgrade makes that rocket punch like an AOE blast, so it affects everything in a radius. So yeah, it's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with it. It's just so much fun. It's kind of what I've been wanting Halo to be like. I remember I made a post on the Eurogamer forum years ago before Halo 5 came out, and kind of like this is what I want Halo to be like going forward, and it's basically pretty close to what we got in Infinite. So I'm very happy, and the storytelling seems good so far. The performances seem good. It's very mysterious, so it's kind of hard to draw any kind of conclusions given I've only done a few main missions. Last main mission I did for anyone that's playing it at the moment or has finished it already is the tower, which was very fun. So I'm still fairly early on in the story. I'm just taking my time and enjoying the world. But I love it. I think it's fantastic. I've been saying all year that Psychonauts 2, well, since Psychonauts 2 came out, that's probably my game of the year. But it's probably going to end up being Halo Infinite if it keeps up this level of quality. It's very, very good.
It's been getting really good reviews, glowing praises. So it's a big triumph for 343 Studios.
Especially as a lot of people were expecting it to be a flaming turd when it actually released. And it's come out and people have gone, no, it's actually really good. Which is nice to see.
There's always like going to be negatives, comments and opinions, but some of it's justified and some was just purely based out of hate for the franchise or for the platform it's on. So it's always going to be that, but like no game is perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect game, but from what I played, and I do like the way they, like people might complain, oh, it's open world, your collectibles and upgrades, but a lot of games have reinvented themselves. Like if you look at 4 Ragnarok, that's changed from like a side-scrolling beat 'em up pretty much to a third-person action adventure. So games can change. Like old franchises can sort of move with the times, and you're still a first person. But I do like what they've added and the open world. It sort of works with Halo as well because it gives you an opportunity to like try out all the guns, all the various ways you can like, do you know what I mean? Like approach every encounter, and it gives you an opportunity, like to say, to use all the new toys, the grapple hook, the vehicles that you can use and stuff like that. So yeah, I do like the fact you can carry quite a lot of bloody grenades now. So I was just like, wow, I'm just chucking loads of like grenades.
Like going back to Halo 3 when you've got like 3 of every single grenade.
Exactly, variant. Brilliant. Yeah, so I'm glad that's come back. But from what I played, man, it is very good, very fun, and I can't wait to play more. It's one of those games where I had it downloaded. I was just waiting. I was like, I really want to play it. Come on, gonna play it. And then I played it, and then I was like, oh man, this is so good. And then it's just I'll probably play a lot more. I can't wait for the Christmas period to start, so I can not work and just actually just sit at home in my pants, just playing Halo all day. Yeah. But yeah,
I think you say like it works well in an open world. I think that kind of goes back to, they called it a spiritual reboot of like going back to like almost like a modern version of what Halo CE was. And in CE you had these big levels. They weren't open world, but they were quite you know, they were like wide linear is the term people use these days. They were like a big sandbox. You think of the second mission when you land on the Halo, and then you rescue the first bunch of Marines, and you get your Warthog. You go through the caves that are not a natural formation, and then you've got like 3 different directions you can go off, and you can go and save those Marines or those Marines. And it feels like they've gone, all right, let's make that, but a whole game of that. And it's just because of the quite sandboxy nature of Halo, it just works. Like you've always had like a number of unique weapons, all these vehicles, and all this crazy like physics interaction. Dropping that into an open world, it just works because it kind of it was halfway there to begin with anyway. I think where a lot of people were concerned is like they looked at Gears 5, which I loved Gears 5, but they tried to go open world with that, and I think they had some mixed results with that. Like some people really did not like it. I thought it was fine, but the world feels a bit barren because there's no like roaming packs of enemies or anything like that. And outside of missions and side missions, there wasn't really anything to do. So I think people were thinking, what if it goes open world the way Gears went open world? But Halo is fundamentally different. Like Gears has always been extremely linear. As much as I love it, it's a very linear series. Whereas Halo has always been very sandboxy, so it just works. It's very fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And just like you say, constantly sharing clips of crazy stuff that happened. Like when I used that grapple rocket punch thing on a grunt and it launched me 100 feet in the air for some reason. I still don't know why that happened, but it was very cool. But yeah, so that's Halo. If you haven't played it, get on Game Pass and give it a go, because it's free on Game Pass.
Free, yeah.
We'll get to we're going to do sort of a main topic and sort of a smaller one this week. So we'll start off with the smaller one. We're going to have a very brief discussion on the Game Awards because Paul, you did a couple of reaction videos, so we're not going to go over everything that you've already talked about. We'll have a little chat about it, given it, it's quite a big deal.
Yeah, I did say in the video, like I think it was the reaction to the winners that we were going to discuss it. Myself and you and myself, like we're going to discuss it more in depth. So I was sort of like gave my quick reaction to who won, and some of them were justified, and some of the nominees got shafted. But we can discuss that a bit more, man. So like, how do you want to start? Like, should we just pick? Like, because some of the awards obviously were. Like, if you watch the video, there was some for the esports.
A lot of esports awards.
I didn't know anything about. I was just like, oh, esports, best athlete, best team, best
good for them. Don't know who they are. Good for them.
Esports event,
best esports coach. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and all that. I just didn't.
But I absolutely don't begrudge those awards being in there.
No, of course not. But it's just not something I'm really into. It's that part of the gaming world I'm not really into. I've only think I've watched one ever game, like an esports event, and I think that's when I think it might have been Overwatch, when London had their own team, London Spitfires. Yeah, and they're all Korean dudes. So I was like, yeah, local representation. But that's how it works, man. You get a team and they're sponsored. It's not like normal sports where you're local lads or people from the country. But I think that's the only one I watched because I was intrigued by that. But other than that, I was like, I don't know much about esports, I'm afraid. I don't know who the coaches is. I don't know. Obviously, like the best esports game the winner was League of Legends. So, that's not surprising. But to be honest, like
it's huge, isn't it?
It's huge. And I was just like, well, yeah, there you are. But we could talk about. Should we just talk about the actual winner of the game of the year, or do you want to?
Let's start with the main topic, I guess, because that's going to be the one that people are going to be either happy or mad about.
I think that's
the neither of us have played.
It's the one that I've seen a lot of people play it, like streamers, and it looks fun. But yeah, I think like with the Game Awards, it's probably the only like category that means anything really. Like the other ones, just it's the big one, isn't it? Everyone wants to find out who won the Game of the Year, and the winner.
It's the one that people care about.
The winner was It Takes Two, which I was fairly surprised with because it is published by EA. So I was very surprised that they won. I was like, huh. And there's
I
been
thought people hated EA.
there's been criticism this year about the limited sort of games. There wasn't like a sort of big, game that stood out that everyone was talking about. There wasn't like a, I always make
Like
this
a
example,
Last of Us
Last
2.
of Us 2, something like that, or not for Ragnarok, God of War, like God of War sort of thing. But yeah, it won,
Or
and
Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild, yeah,
There's big games that come every now and then and just sweep the awards.
yeah,
There wasn't really anything like that, which is why I think a lot of people were hoping before the nominees came out that they were like, well, maybe Forza Horizon finally has a chance.
yeah,
And
no,
that is still the best reviewed game this year, and it didn't even
yeah,
get nominated. And people were mad about that, and I think there's some merit in that because it's the best reviewed game all year, and it didn't even get a shout. I mean, they did win 3 awards on the night, like
yeah,
best
they did.
sports racing,
I got the
best
list
something
there.
other, best soundtrack, I think.
Yeah,
Best
like
audio
Forza
design.
5 won best sports racing game. Yeah, it also won it won innovation in accessibility. So
No, that was the other one, yeah. And
yeah,
the other one was audio design.
yeah. So it.
Can I also just say how weird it is to like
Mm.
put sports and racing in one category? Because they're not really the same, are they?
No, but I think there's a stigma with sports or racing games that they shouldn't they
Oh
they,
yeah,
they never get
absolutely.
nominated. I think it should have got nominated, but I mean,
It should have at least been nominated, given it was the
yeah,
highest rated game of the year.
mhm,
Excuse me.
very squeaky.
But yeah,
But what
it's
what's
like
your
92 Metacritic, I think.
what's your opinion on that then? What do you think that was like? It Takes Two. It was well deserved, or
Well, see, here's the thing. I can't really have much of an opinion about the actual game of the year
mhm,
category because I've only played one of them.
mm.
And
So like, can I just like the nominees were Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, which I think is the one you played, Psychonauts 2. I think you played that as well.
yeah, so I played 2 of them. I forgot Metroid Dread completely.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, Drift Apart, and Resident Evil Village, which you've done. You have
I
played.
played like 20 minutes of.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Prime, I got like 3 hours in, and I was like, I was really enjoying it, but I haven't gone back to it for some reason. But Psychonauts 2 is, until I finish Halo and Endwalker, Psychonauts 2 is my game of the year. It's amazing. I love that game, and I was glad it was nominated. So I'm not going to say it was robbed because obviously I haven't played the majority of the games. I haven't played Deathloop, I haven't played Ratchet, I haven't played It Takes Two. So I can't say, oh no, it was robbed. But I am disappointed that it didn't win anything. It was nominated for like 3 or 4 awards, I think, Psychonauts 2. And I really think it deserves some recognition because it is a fantastic game.
I actually commented that on when I did the my reaction. I was like, wow, Psychonauts 2 could just not get a W. It just could not. Every nomination it got,
Couldn't
it
buy
lost.
a win.
It couldn't get a win. And I honestly thought it was going to win Best Art Direction. I was like, come on, man! Like, have you seen? That's unique. Like that's like, what other game has that sort of style? That sort of like psychedelic 60s style.
Such a creative looking game. But either that or Best Direction, because Tim Schafer deserves a friggin' award. And I think Deathloop won both of those, didn't they?
Yeah, Deathloop won.
I think they won art direction and direction.
And I can't believe Deathloop won that. Like the best art direction. What?
I do think it looks. I mean, I haven't played it yet because I'm waiting for a Game Pass, but I do think it looks very good.
I mean, yeah, it looks good.
It's also got kind of like a kitsch retro 60s kind of vibe.
Yeah, but I'm just like best art direction. No, like compare it to Psychonauts 2, it just doesn't really compare. Do you know what I mean? It just like Psychonauts 2 is like an acid trip, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
It's like a literal acid trip at some points.
It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah,
that's outrageous.
I'm very disappointed they didn't at least win one award because they deserved I mean, in my mind, they deserved Game of the Year, but as I said, I haven't played some of the, not like more than half of the nominations, so I can't sit here and say it was robbed, but I'm disappointed. But yeah, I mean, It Takes Two. I had a feeling It Takes Two was going to win because people have been talking about it all year, and that's also one of the highest rated games of the year. And
but I know people have been talking about it, but people have not been like sort of talking about it in the same sort of the same breath as some of the other big games that came out like in the last few years. It hasn't been spoken about in such like reverence as some of these big like AAA games. Do you know what I mean? It was like people are saying, oh, it's good for co-op, good for playing in a co-op. It's fun, but it wasn't like a sort of do you know what I mean? Like a big studio sort of all the trimmings, like like I say, like a AAA game that everyone's goes, oh, you got to go and play it. It's a great story,
which is maybe a
great,
positive thing, but
maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I saw people gushing about it, like critics and that, saying this is a game that will save marriages and this kind of stuff. And maybe they're right. I haven't played it. I'd like to play it at some point, but yeah, I mean, like Hades won last year, so there's always at least one very well-regarded indie game. I know, It Takes Two was published by EA, but indie sort of level, I guess. Now things are getting very blurry these days, but there's always one sort of like indie darling kind of game in the nominations, which is a good thing, I think. They deserve to be highlighted. It shouldn't just be, oh, this is the most expensive game all year, and it's got the best graphics and the best voice actors and
the best motion capture,
Hollywood,
and
the Hollywood script and all that. It shouldn't always be that.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, but there is
an
indie.
I'm not mad about it winning.
There is an best indies category, so
there is.
It wasn't even in that, but yeah. So
what won that? I can't remember now.
The Cana. Bridge of
Spirits. Oh yeah, Bridge of Spirits, Kenna.
Yeah, that one.
Which actually looks like a AAA big money game.
Big money, man. But yeah. So congratulations, It Takes Two. I did actually work on the art and design of that game, so kind of felt like I did my part.
Little W for Paulus.
That's right. Yeah, put that on the resume.
Yes, congratulations to Joseph Ferris, Mr. Fuck the Oscars. I think it won like 3 awards that night, didn't it?
What?
Won Best Family Game, which was funny.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Every other nomination in that category was a Nintendo game, and they lost.
I was very surprised with that because I thought Mario Party would have won that, or Wario, like the Wario game that was on there. But no, it won, and but there's another category I want to talk about is best action game, action forward adventure game, and the nominees on that were Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village, and Psychonauts 2. Obviously, Psychonauts 2 didn't win because they won fuck all.
Sure didn't.
The winner was Metroid Dread, which I haven't played, but you have. So, what's your opinion on that?
Well, as I say, it's kind of weird that I was very excited about Metroid Dread. I bought the limited edition. I love Metroid, and I was in the position of like I can just about afford it, but I can't really justify it, so I'm not going to buy it. So I replayed Metroid Fusion on my 3DS, and I was like, I still want more Metroid. So I replayed Metroid Zero Mission on my Wii U, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm buying it anyway. So I bought Dread, and I got about 3 hours into it, I think. I was loving it. It is really good. But I beat a specific boss. I won't say any more for spoilers. And then I just kind of put it down. I haven't gone back to it, and I'm not sure why. I think it's just I just don't pick the Switch up, to be honest. Like, I keep thinking, like, once a week I'm like, oh, I really need to get back to Dread, and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to pick the Switch up. So if it was on like PC or Xbox, I probably would have finished it by now. But I don't know what it is. The Switch, I just can't be bothered to pick it up most of the time. But what I played of it, I loved. I think it's amazing. It's a very, very good game. I just need to actually pull my finger out and get back to it. So yeah, I'm not mad about that winning at all. Obviously, I would have liked Psychonauts to win something. But best narrative, Psychonauts was also up for, and I was like, okay, come on, surely it's got a chance at that. Nope, Guardians of the Galaxy won that, which I think a lot of people were surprised about, and I think the people that have played it aren't surprised about it. They were like, "Yeah, seems about right."
It's one of, I think it's like a sleeper hit, the Guardians of the Galaxy, surprisingly, even though it's a Marvel IP, because like the sour taste of Marvel's Avengers, you know, that is fresh in
People were like, "Well,
people's
I'm not going to
memory.
buy that one."
Yeah, but it turns out Guardians of the Galaxy is actually really good. So it's one of those
I want
ones
to play
that
it.
I want to play, and so I'm going to get around to playing that. So yeah, man. Just let's talk about another category, mate. We've got the best RPG, and obviously we are big RPG fans. And I'll read out the nominees.
Please do.
I can't believe this is on there. I can't fucking believe Cyberpunk 2077's on there. How the fuck did that make it on there?
Never mind that it came out last year anyway.
It's still buggy as hell, man. It should not have been nominated.
That's the thing, it came out in 2020, so why is it even there anyway?
Why is it there? Yeah, but Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tenshin 5, and the winner it was Tales of Arise, which I think is pretty much everyone was happy with.
Seems to be the case. Yeah, people were like, "Yeah, okay, fine."
Yeah, they're like, fair enough. I mean, good for the Tales, man. It's always lived in the shadows of the Final Fantasy and the what's the other one?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. It's always lived in the shadow.
And even like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei in recent years as well, which have been getting bigger.
It's always been like the sort of like the red-headed stepchild. Like, I mean, it's good. Like people say, it's good for like it's good. No-brainer fun. It's like a popcorn movie, isn't it? Really, but it turns out that Tales has this Tales of Arise. They've sort of stepped their game up, and they've really sort of emerged from beneath people's shadow and sort of standing on its own 2 feet. And
what I always used to say about the series is like it's like JRPG comfort food. Like it's not a turn-based one, so it's not like that traditional JRPG that people think of. But everything else, it feels like very traditional, kind of no frills JRPG comfort food. And I love the series. I've got I don't think I've got any visible here, but there's a few figures around. You can just see one there actually. There's set lost there, and I love the series. And Arise, they certainly improved a lot for Arise, like visually and audio-ly. That's not a word, but audio visually. There we go. They stepped the game up a lot. It's a good looking game. It's at times absolutely beautiful, and I haven't finished it. I got about halfway through it, and then some other stuff came out, so I don't know how it ends. I'll have to get back to it at some point. But it feels a bit unbalanced in some respects. Like in previous Tales of games, it was like trivial just to get like the max amount of healing items of any kind, and then you could just spam them in battle. In this, they're very expensive, so you don't even want to use them in a battle. But then the bosses hit very hard, and you kind of have to use them. So I kind of got into a cycle where it's like, right, I've expended almost all my items on that boss battle. Now I've got to grind for hours to be able to buy more of them, and it felt a little bit balanced towards them. The microtransactions, because you can buy level up packs and stuff like that, and item bundles in the in-game store, and it felt a little bit like they kind of tried to balance it towards pushing you towards the microtransactions, which pushed me away a bit. So when I get back to it, I'm probably just going to drop the difficulty down and just power through it, because the story seemed interesting. I like the characters. I want to see where it goes, but it felt a little bit unfairly balanced in places. But it's a good game. It looks really good, and it's good to see the series have a bit of a breakout.
All right, cool. There's another nominee section I want to talk about, because all the other ones, best VR, best innovation, accessibility, we don't want to spend like hours talking about every one of them, but we just want to talk about the main categories. And I think this one here is best action game. The nominees were Back for Blood, Cavalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and the winner is Returnal, which, you know, like that's a game that many people should have said that should have been in been in Game of the Year, but it won Best Action Game. I'm glad Psychonauts 2 wasn't on there, because it probably would have lost there as well. He would have lost that as well. But yeah, I've not played Returnal because I don't own a PS5 and you don't own one. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it looks fun. It's the kind of game that if I had a PS5, I'd definitely check it out.
Well, I think, sorry to cut you off, that the nominees were quite weak in that department, because apart from Deathloop, all of them were like sequels. I know Back for Blood wasn't the original one, but that's Left 4 Dead, man, basically.
In all but name.
Yeah. So yeah, Returnal. Yeah, good. I mean, Far Cry 6, I said on the video that you get what with Far Cry, it's got so formulaic. I could pretty much tell, like, for the next Far Cry, I probably can list how it's going to be. It's going to be a charismatic antagonist set in like a exotic location with it, like the guys the antagonist is a tyrannical tyrant or something like that. There's factions that you got to join. You know what I mean? That's how it is. It's just cut and paste now. It's very formulaic. Ever since
the last Far Cry I played was 3.
That's what my one as well.
Every time I watch videos of the new ones, I'm like, this looks like the same game.
It is pretty much, yeah. I mean, people like it, but the thing is with God, what's the developer?
Ubisoft.
They've just with all their franchises, they sort of find a formula what works, and then they go with that until they run that into the ground. But that, like Assassin's Creed, they sort of changed it up. But
thank God,
with Far Cry 6, it's just the same thing again. But yeah, congratulations, Returnal, man. And
am I the only one that thinks it's weird they have a category for best action game and then a category for best action adventure game? It just seems kind of weird to me.
Maybe because like some best action adventure is like got platforming in it.
It's kind of odd.
I mean, they don't have a section for best first person shooter. They don't have one for that, which they have one for RPG, but not for an FPS, which is kind of strange that they don't have one. I mean, there's pretty much a category for, you got best sim strategy game, best multiplayer game, which It Takes Two won. So yeah, best fighting game, and we don't really play fighting games, but Guilty Gear won that. I'm glad, because I quite like Guilty Gear franchise.
Seems well deserved.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, like your one of your favorite games, Final Fantasy 14, best ongoing game. So that's good for them.
Damn right.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man. Anything else you need to say, or should we?
Best soundtrack, Near Replicant.
Yeah, well, the version
absolutely well deserved.
11223 point bullshit on there.
Square root of 1.5.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing soundtrack. It was amazing back in 2010. It's amazing now. So that's well deserved.
Excellent. Happy days. But yeah, I think
so. That's the Game Awards. I think everyone was kind of. I feel like everyone came out of it kind of like, not mad, but like unsatisfied. I don't think anyone came out of it particularly pleased about it, other than maybe Joseph Fares from It Takes Two fame.
Mm-hmm.
But what about announcements? Anything catch your eye that was announced? I felt like it was very light on announcements.
Yeah, there was the Alan Wake 2. but that was very. I actually said that he looked the character they made Alan look like Bradley Cooper. I was like, that's Bradley Cooper. They got him in to do Alan Wake to play as Alan Wake now. Is that how? It's like he looks so much like him. I don't know. Maybe they're going to get like a lawsuit or something from old Bradley.
That was the big thing for me, Alan Wake too. Because if you're watching this on video, you can see I'm wearing a Control T-shirt. I love Remedy, and I've wanted an Alan Wake sequel for years. So that was like me. I wasn't jumping out of my chair because it was very late at night and I was in bed, but I was very happy about that. But other than that, not much. There wasn't really much I cared about. The Hellblade 2 trailer was cool.
Yes, but that's stuff we already know about, isn't it? But the one that actually I did hear about no, did I? Quantic Dream Star Wars game. The Eclipse, which I'm kind of.
It was a very cool trailer, but it was a CGI trailer, so it was hard to get anything out of that.
I think the majority of the trailers were pre-rendered. I don't know if Hellblade 2 was. I was just like, is this in game?
That was in game.
That was in game because I was like, if you watched the video, I actually was wondering if that was in game or cutscene. I was like, no, that's in game because we all know how good the engine is and how good the graphics are. But yeah, in game, cool. But yeah, man, the Star Wars Quantic Dream game is interesting. It's called Eclipse.
Set during the High Republic.
Whatever that means. What was that? What's that? What the fuck does that mean?
Well,
what's the High Republic?
The Republic was at its height. Let's go with that.
Well, I saw Yoda there, so it's set during that. But he lives to like 900 years. But it don't matter with Star Wars, man. Like the technology and stuff has reached this apex.
Never really changes.
Never change. It's like Game of Thrones, isn't it? It's like they're never gonna hit the Industrial Revolution in Game of Thrones because it's been thousands of years and they've still got swords and bows and arrows. It's never. I mean, I don't even think do they use trebuchets? They do, yeah. But yeah, the technology's never. They've not even got like explosives. So yeah. But anyway, like I'm not sure how they're gonna. Is it gonna be like a Heavy Rain but with lightsabers sort of game? Beyond Good and Evil. No, wait. Beyond Two Souls. Sorry. Is it gonna be like that? One. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm intrigued. I think it was a very cool trailer, but it's Quantic Dream and
David Cage.
I've always found their games kind of Well, I say that, and I've only played like 3, so
that's still quite a lot. Though.
So,
that's still. You say they only play 3, and he's probably only released like about 7, like that. So,
yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes, but also kind of thinking it might be a bit of a clusterfuck because it's Quantic Dream and David Cage. It was a very cool trailer, but it didn't really get me all that excited. And the only other one I can remember off the top of my head was Wonder Woman, and that was literally just a title drop. So it's kind of hard to get excited for that too. And that's Monolith, the people that made the Shadow of Mordor games. And before that, the Fear games. So good developer. Interested to see what they do, but given it's basically just a title drop and like her face, it's obviously years away, so it's kind of hard to get excited about that either.
Cool. Yeah, man.
In general, I found the Game Awards a bit of a disappointment, if I'm honest. I stayed up till 4 a.m. to watch it, and the next day I was like, I wish I'd just gone to bed. It wasn't all that good.
All right, man. So it's the Game Awards.
So now, shall we move on to our main topic?
You say that we've been talking about like the Game Awards for like about half an hour. But
well, it's kind of a twin topic podcast, I guess. But the main chat, I guess, is kind of a year in review. How has 2021 gone? What have we done? What have we enjoyed?
Can I say something? Like
no,
fuck. Then I might as well
go ahead. No, go on. Please do.
I can't believe it's already the end of 2021. It feels like it's just like it's so mad that the year's gone by so quick. We're still pretty much battling the the virus in all its forms and variants, and things are still not back to normal, and we're not gone into a lockdown here in UK yet, but it's looking like that it's going to go that way, because they've already told people to work from home, and I've been working from home since 2020, the beginning. So it's been like it's been 2 years, and it all sort of blends into one after a while, and time goes a lot more quicker when you're at home constantly all the time. And it's only been recently that we've been able to meet everyone up, meet friends, meet in person again. But yeah, it's just in terms of like our sort of review of our sort of YouTubing and stuff like that, we still haven't been able to record in person together. So we've sort of been allowed to do our own thing, if I could say. It's kind of like, the Beatles. You had you had John Lennon, Paul McCartney, when they did their own separate thing. Obviously, Paul McCartney did Wings, and John Lennon did the John Lennon and Oh No Plastic Band thing. So you've seen like our talents,
and the whole not getting out of bed thing. That's my bit.
Yeah, it's the sort of we sort of not seen our style, but sort of seeing where each of us are sort of, because like it is very much we do say, oh, I'm gonna put a video up of this or that, but sometimes we just put videos on and we don't tell each other. It just sort of goes up and we're just like, oh, someone's uploading the video. But like I could say it's been, I do miss like recording in person together. I do miss the back and forth, because I found, especially when we were still doing Let's Plays on our own, I found it quite hard to keep going on your own, because I find it better when you have someone to bounce off of or someone to take over the conversation, because to keep things interesting, you got to just keep talking, but then you run out of things to talk.
If you're used to just playing games in silence, like which is what I do, and I'm sure you're probably the same. We're not people that like narrate our own experience while we're just playing a game, so it's kind of hard to do that when you're recording as well, because it's kind of almost like learning a new skill, sort of having to talk over a game you're playing when you're used to just like maybe just sitting there with your headset on and just playing a game silently in the quiet dark room. And you definitely miss that kind of collaborative nature of bouncing off of one another, and just like the banter and taking a piss out of each other. And yeah, it is missed. And I think you lose a fair bit of personality in your videos when you're doing it, because you just don't have that kind of collaborative nature when you're making it.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I don't know, it's like when I live stream, obviously that's got to be, I do that on my own, and I find that it's not easier, but it's a bit weird, because with live stream it's a bit more loose. You can get up and just walk off and just get something to eat or drink, and do you know what I mean? Or just talk about, like, you can't control live stream. Someone can walk in and start talking to you, or some, you know what I mean? Some things can happen, but it's when you're doing like sort of, when we're doing Let's Plays, it's more like we need it to be like the volume to be good, everything needs to be fine, no interruptions, no nothing like that, no sounds. It is tricky, but it's kind of like we have made a conscious decision just to abandon the Let's Play formula, because it just doesn't work for this current time, especially when we've got streaming services. It's just, I think it's a dead format, and we gotta sort of let that go, and we got to come up with not like new ideas, if and sort of I think with Let's Plays it's very easy, it's comfort, it's easy to do. You just record, once you get all the audio settings right and everything like that, it's pretty easy. You record
You just hit
for
record
half,
and you play.
hit record, you play it. That's easy, and to edit it, it's pretty easy. Just like if there's any interruptions, you edit that bit out, and just it's very straightforward. So I think that's why we like doing. I enjoy doing it, but if I want to sound a bit like pompous, but creatively, it's a bit bland. Yeah, it's not. I mean, if people were watching it, like we'd probably still. If we were getting like I don't know, like 50,000 views per video, obviously you'll keep doing it because like. But when you get like something like 10 or 4, it's up like, oh, well, what's the point then? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, some of our Let's Play videos are literally in the single digits.
And it's so you have to sort of look at what is current in the landscape, I think, and we've had to sort of reassess what we're doing. Obviously, we stopped Let's Playing like midway through the year, I think.
It's been a while.
What was your last one? Your last one was it Quantum Break? Was that the last one this year?
Yeah, that was the last one.
I think my last one was Star Wars Battlefront 2. To be honest, I basically,
which you struggled to get through as well.
I hated that game because it had its complaints. People just saying it was just like a multiplayer game, and it played like one, and it just got on my nerves. So I was just like, well, I'm ending this Let's Play, and that's kind of like I was like, we're not really getting any sort of good traction with that, so let's abandon the Let's Play series. But
yeah, my last Quantum Break one was in May, and it had 8 views.
Yeah, there you are. Like, I do like was it Exploring Game Pass? Was that something we come up with this year? I think it was, wasn't it? Was it this year or last year? I think it might have been last year. Yeah.
Where everything kind of blends together makes it difficult to tell.
I think that's pretty good. I do like that. That's the kind of thing I quite like, that sort of gimmick where obviously we could, you can play a game for like 40 minutes because it's on Game Pass. Every new game that gets released, we can play it and put it up, have our reactions to it. But we sort of have abandoned the quick looks. They sort of gone because everything's on Game Pass.
That's kind of what our Game Pass series is, really.
Yeah.
It just kind of turned into that. That allows us to do the same thing, really, but just always playing something new.
I think it's because like neither of us own a PS5, so that's kind of like that's why there's no quick looks
platforms at this point.
Yeah, I mean I own everything apart from PS5. I know you've given away your PS4 to your brother, so you're pretty much just Xbox and PC and play and Switch. But yeah, I think like what if I go our appraisal is like we have missed for 2 years now doing an actual like events video. Saying that, like together, like I did the MCM one, but that never really gets traction because everyone does one. It's just everyone knows about it.
It's a big
event. It's a big one, so there's loads of videos.
Tens of thousands of people going.
When there's stuff like more niche stuff like the gaming market or Hyper Japan or the LAGC, London Gaming and Anime Con, it does better numbers because people don't really know about it. We do have comments saying, oh wow, what's this? Is it any good? Is it like MCM? I'm like, nah, it's not MCM. It's not. But if you just want a day out amongst fellow geeks and nerds and otakus, then I would recommend it because it is quite of a very
it's a
small
day out.
It's a day out. And with us, because we're just like pissheads, we do like they got the bar there, so we just go ham with that. But saying that, they do, I have bought stuff from there, figures and shit, and games, so it's not a complete waste. It's not like they don't have anything there. They do still have some stuff there to buy.
Yeah, it's just a very, very small con,
Low key,
basically.
yeah.
You've got all the stuff you would expect, but just on a much smaller scale.
Yeah. So I've missed doing that. I think that's what we've been lacking in the last 2 years, is those sort of events videos that normally we like to do so much. We probably will have a video of our end of year sort of meet up with Rory, Dan, Nikki, and myself. We'll probably do like a little video there. So that should probably be, that might be even the last video we put up on for the channel for this year. So like an end of year sort of video. So that's something to look forward to. But
A send off for 2021.
yeah, I mean, like, has it been anything in particular that you've enjoyed, like from what you've created from the channel? Is there anything that you stand out that you're pretty proud of?
I think my favourite thing I've done this year is this is going to sound silly, seeing we just spent minutes bashing the Let's Play format, but I did a 2-part Let's Play of the Psychonauts VR game in the Robbers of Ruin, and it's quite a heavily edited one. It's not, I like cut a lot of the downtime out and just stuff where I'm confused about puzzles and stuff.
I think that's probably the way to go now. It's going to be more of a bridged sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the idea I'm kind of playing around with in my head. If I'm going to do Let's Plays, I'll just do sort of very abridged versions where I just cut out a lot of the downtime and just, it'll almost be like a highlights package, really, but a bit longer. But yeah, the thing I've done this year that I don't know if I'd say most proud of, but that I enjoyed most has been that Psychonauts 2 VR 2-part that I did, because I think a lot of people haven't played that game. It's like it's a niche of a niche, really. It's like Psychonauts itself is a niche, and then VR again is another niche. So I feel like a lot of people haven't played it, and with Psychonauts 2 coming out, I wanted to play it because it does bridge the gap between the two games, and I wanted it up on the channel so that people that aren't able to play it, because that's quite a commitment to be able to play to be able to play a 2-hour Psychonauts game, to have to buy, like, you'd either need a PS or a PSVR headset, or you need a PC and a PCVR headset. So it's an expensive outlay for a 2-hour Psychonauts game, and I figured most people that were looking forward to Psychonauts 2 hadn't played it, so I wanted to get it up on YouTube for those that didn't have the opportunity to do so. And it was just a fun little game as well. It was nice to be inside that world in VR. I think that's the thing I've done this year that I've enjoyed the most. What about you?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I kind of wish I thought about my
we did put up quite a lot of videos. So
yeah, like I say, we sort of have to do our own thing purely because like we can't record together. So it is like we have this one channel, but we're having to like come up with our own content. But I'm gonna. What can I say?
It's not going to be Battlefront 2, that's for sure.
No, fuck that game. No way.
But we do, as I say, though, we do put up quite a lot of content, so there's a lot to kind of pick from, really, and try and think about.
But like, I can't. No, actually, I do know, and it's recent. I can't believe it. I've had to just look on our channel to see, to remind me. It's actually
I know what it's going to be.
the Final Fantasy thing. Yeah,
the quiz.
The Final Fantasy quiz. Because
I was like, why is he umming and ahhing? Surely that's going to be that.
I was just like, oh yeah, what have I done? I was like, oh, it's got to be the Final Fantasy quiz that we did with together with some friends. That's like, we've never done anything like that, and I'm surprised it's taken us that long to do it, because there's a lot of channels who do that. Like I mentioned these guys before, but they only like the Anime Man, Giguk, and CWA. Before they did Trash Taste, they would, like, when they met up, they would get their friends like Aki Dearest together and Sid Snap and stuff like that, and they'll do like anime quizzes and stuff, test each other. So that's why I sort of got the idea. I was like, that's a good idea. Why haven't we? It's something so simple, and like they did it in person, but obviously you got Zoom to use, So I was just like, why don't we do something? I'll be the quiz master because like you guys are bigger fans than I, and we'll put it together and we'll do something like something fun, like where we can just like not only like talk to each other because we haven't, because we don't see each other as much as we do we done in the past, but it's something like we can use for like content and something different. And I kind of feel like I would like to do a couple of more. Maybe Mr. Ross would like to do something, but it is fun to do and it's something different. And yeah, I was quite pleased with that, especially the way I edited it as well. I thought that was quite good. It sort of pushed me to try other different things with the editing software, that are very limited editing software that we have. But obviously, because we don't have effects, like a lot of creators not only use like better editing software, Adobe one, they also use like After Effects and stuff, which we don't have access to, unfortunately. But it was good. Like I really enjoyed that one, and like I said, I plan to do another one probably in the new year, something to kick off the new year, like a Mass Effect one, which I think will be good because we all are big fans of Mass Effect, and I think I want to make it a lot harder though, because I think I made it quite a bit too easy on the Final
It needs to
Fantasy
be a
one.
little bit tricky.
Yeah, and I would get away with the buzzer thing because there was a delay on that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mess in that regard.
I think it sort of worked slightly, but yeah, if I was in person, I can hear it better, but because there's delay. But I would keep it multiple choice and just have you guys do that. That'll be how I do it. Like have you guys just with a sheet of paper with your answer. But yeah, probably that, man. I enjoyed that, and I would like to try something more outside the comfort zone, because I do see like channels like Eurogamer, Outside Xbox, those sort of ones that we kind of like not modeled on, but it is quite not similar, but we should try some stuff that they try, because why not? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There was a good one that I thought was quite good that they did on Eurogamer video concept where and I can't believe I was so annoyed that I never thought of that, is where they would meet up in like just to have a chat, but it'll be like themed, so it'll be like a themed bar, so they'll have like a big like green screen of like or like a bar in a game, you know what I mean? Like they would like go into like they would just like go to a video game world and go to their bar, and I was like, oh man, that's so us, man. So why did I think of that?
Why haven't we thought of that? That would fit our channel perfectly.
Yeah, we could have gone to like Skyrim bars and just drank in one of their bars.
Drink Nord mead,
and or go to like a bar in Mass Effect Universal Dragon Age. It's just like, that's such a good idea, man. Like, but yeah, it's just like I find like this year's like definitely have had to look and sort of try other concepts. Like obviously you yourself, you've got the unboxing, I've done the PC one, but you recently did the Endwalker box set, didn't you? Which is like you said, is the number one video for that.
I'm quite proud of that, honestly. Yeah. It's the first one to go. I don't think we've ever done a video like that where it's like the first one on YouTube. I was amazed. I uploaded it and I was like, wonder how many there are. There's none. What? Because it's a collector's edition unboxing. That's usually pretty big business on YouTube, and it's for a big game that people have been really looking forward to. I was convinced it'd be like, oh, there's going to be hundreds of them and I'll get like 5 views. And it was the first one uploaded. I searched YouTube multiple times. There wasn't a single one before I put ours up.
It's gonna that video is single-handedly going to carry us to monetization.
Yeah, maybe not that well. Just over 500 views now. I'm happy with that.
But I can't believe we haven't mentioned this, but we started a podcast this year. This year we started it. So that's that. We've started it this year.
Only this year.
It was this year. Or was it last year? It was this year. No,
These
it was
2
this.
years really have
Oh
blurred
no!
into one.
If I'm pretty sure we haven't been going for a year. There's no way we've been going
Let
for a
me
year.
check. No, it was this year, February.
Yeah. We haven't. I've been like we were on episode 20. I know we go every fortnight, but there's no way we've been going for 2 years. But yeah, this year. So that's something. Yeah, and something new.
Yeah.
Because it was like when we said, oh, if we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll do a YouTube channel, and we did this year, and we've only gone up another 100, so that's slowed down.
Yeah, it's been a hard year.
Yeah, it's slowed down, and yeah, so yeah, we started the YouTube, which is available on Spotify, obviously YouTube, Amazon Music, and Google as well. So yeah, that's something good, man. Like, I mean, we enjoy doing the podcast.
It's always good to get together and have a chat, because
Yeah,
I feel like in a sense it kind of replaces, like we were talking about missing out on kind of getting together and recording our Let's Plays and stuff. I feel like the podcast at least partially kind of replaces that in a sense, because it's just kind of, obviously we theme it every fortnight and we talk about the news and stuff, but it is kind of like a social get together in a time when we can't really get together, so it kind of pulls double duty in that sense.
yeah.
So
I mean,
it's been a bit of a highlight of the year, I think.
Especially when we get friends on. We've had Dan on twice, and we've had Nikki on once, and they're not our only friends. We have other friends. Maybe we should get other people on as well. But because we're pretty close with them, it's easier. But I have had that people ask me to be on the podcast who are in like the same sort of circles as Dan and Nikki. You know, the people from, you know who the people I'm talking about. They've actually asked why haven't I asked them to come on? And I'm just like, I don't know, man, to be honest. I don't know.
Just hasn't come up.
Maybe it's because we're so familiar with them that it's more relaxed, and we, you know what I mean, because we're just friends and we've known each other for a very long time. But that's kind of another thing I like. I think this year's appraisal is we've sort of had to be a bit more out of our, I think from, I can't speak for yourself, but out of my comfort zone, because like I've had to sort of look back and go, wow, I sound really bored in some of these videos. I sound really like disinterested, and it's weird. It's a horrible thing to say, but when you're doing, especially when you do face-to-face YouTube videos, you've got to sort of be a bit more animated and a bit more
gregarious.
Yeah, you've got to like, sort of throw your voice as well, because sometimes I feel like I sound like I'm just like, yeah, all right, oh, that's good. Oh, when I'm doing videos for gaming. And
so this is the thing I learned when I was studying at uni, because I did journalism, and part of that was broadcast, TV and radio, and it's something I learned then and kind of forgot about in the intervening years, is that if you talk how you talk normally, like when you would talk to your friends, that just sounds completely natural. If you do that in a performance kind of setting, it sounds flat and boring. And you have to kind of over egg it a bit, and it sounds in your head you're thinking this sounds really cheesy and stupid, but then when you actually watch it back, it seems natural. It's really weird. I think part of it is that you're kind of conditioned by what other people are doing in other videos, so when you see them kind of overacting a bit, that kind of starts to feel natural, and then you just speaking naturally as you would amongst friends feels flat and boring. It's a strange thing, but yeah, it's something I as I say, I learned it at university and then completely forgot. And there's videos I watch back, even fairly recent ones I watch back and think, oh, I sound so bored. No one's going to want to watch this when I sound bored.
Yeah, it is like, you got to realize well, I have to realize that you're in entertainment. It's weird to think to say, but we are trying to sell ourselves in a way, and you got to sound like you're enthusiastic and you're hyped and you're like, do you know what I mean? People might say it sounds fake, but if you're not funny or interested or like alive, like in the way you portray yourself, people just like, well, I don't, you know what I mean? It's not, people don't want to watch that because
if they're not interested in their own content, why should I be?
I mean, like, how many YouTube channels and creators that you watch, and why do you like them? Because they're interested, they're engaging and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? They talk well and clearly, and they obviously have a passion for the subject. And I kind of like, I do listen back, and I've watched back a few videos, and it's just like, I can't speak for yourself. I can only speak for me. I do sound sometimes I'm disinterested, or I speak like that with my head down, like, oh yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you gotta like, I gotta sort of like be a bit more sort of, a bit more, I mean, but not hyped, but a bit more showmanship, if that's the correct word, because I mean, like, fair enough, like in person you'll be always, people always say that, go, oh, they like that, how they like that in real life. Yeah, there is, like, people do put on a bit more, like, sort of like emphasis on being more loud and being a bit more passionate. But that's only because you are selling something to people. Is that making sense? Am I just like,
No, it is exactly that, and it's like I say, there's been times, like before we started this channel, I was sort of contributing to a small website, and I did a couple of video things for them, and I just spoke naturally and clearly, like as I would speak any other time. And as I was recording it, I was like, yeah, this seems like it's going well. Like, I'm being very, clear in my speech, and I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I sound positive and confident. And then you watch it back, and it's just like you might as well be mumbling. You're just like, it's like, so what does sound natural in your head for some reason just isn't when you're on a camera. So you do have to kind of over egg it a bit, and you will feel in your head like, I sound like such a pillock right now. But you watch it back and you're like, oh, I don't look like a pillock. I look engaged. It's just really weird. Like, it's a completely different kind of skill from just like socializing with people you're used to being with. And the one thing I always go back to is our Xbox size comparison video, which still keeps getting views.
People love that video, and they love to criticize someone on there.
It still gets comments even now. I mean, for those who haven't seen it, which is probably most people because nobody watches our videos, we made, when the One X came out, we did a video. Paul came around here, and exactly where I'm sitting now, we did a video where we compared the size of Xbox consoles throughout the years. So we did the OG Xbox, we did the original 360, the 360S, and I didn't have an Xbox 360E, so we skipped that. And then the original big VCR Xbox One, the One S, and then the One X, and we just did like a size comparison between all of them. And throughout the video, Paul's going, yeah, like
that. That's why I tend to sit in silence now, because I never want to be like, yeah. But anyway, sorry, man. Yeah, carry on.
But yeah, I think it's like going on 8,000 views now. I think it's like one of our top videos. And every now and then it gets a new comment from people saying, "Oh, maybe do it on your own next time. This guy just mumbles all the time," and stuff like that.
Yeah, or they write out, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know you've mentioned that to me yourself and said, "Oh, I watched that back, and I kind of realised I was doing that a lot, and kind of use it as a learning opportunity." But yeah, it's just under 7.8 thousand views at the moment. It has 13 comments, which is more than we usually get, and a lot of it's just like commenting on Paul's
poor
speech.
I should have just been silent.
I mean, it's all a learning opportunity, isn't it? You do something and then you see how it goes, and you go, okay, well, this worked, maybe that didn't work so well, and you learn from it. And you get comments that maybe take the piss a bit. You just got to kind of let it roll off your shoulders a bit.
I
laugh about it.
I totally laugh about it because they're completely correct. I was like, I'm not that bad. I was like, holy shit, I am. But pretty much from the openings going, It's like, I don't know what it was. It's just like, I'm trying, when you're like not pretend to listen, but it's one of those reactions where when someone's explaining something to you, you're taking it in. So
you
you
want
go,
to appear engaged.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I should realize I was the fucking cameraman and I only speak when it's necessary instead of going, but it's like that scene from Wayne's World too, where they go to the radio jockey and the radio jockey's just like going, and they're just like, you're not listening to a word I'm saying, are you? So yeah, but that was one of the early videos from like 2018, the early days.
End of 2017, yeah.
So, yeah,
4
man,
years ago now.
Yeah, this channel's been going on for a while, man. But I feel like our content has evolved, if that's the correct term. Like it's obviously like the month of horrors and stuff like that, and Game Pass, the unboxing, the reaction videos, the sort of more, the quiz and the podcasts and the whatnot. And I feel like we are gonna try and do other things. Like once we say this, like the world opens up, we're going to do more sort of videos outside and stuff because they seem to do pretty well.
We say that, and then another variant comes along.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like every time we think we've turned a corner, something new comes along to sort of put all those plans to scupper all those plans. But yeah, like if I like going back to the being presenting, I've done videos where I put myself in front of the camera and when I'm talking, and I find it so difficult. I'm just like, why it was so hard? Like I'm in a room by myself. Why as soon as that comes on, I go, okay, how do I talk? Like how do I? Do you know what I mean? Like I can't just sit there and like, I'm like, should I be more extrovert? Should I be more engaged? But I always find I go back to that sort of type of just like closed up and just like, yeah. So looking around, just going, do you know what I mean? You're looking at the ceiling and just like can't focus instead of just staring straight at the camera and just talking clearly and engagingly and with a joyful step. Do you know? It's like there are
It's because you're overanalyzing everything because you know someone's going to be watching it. That's what it is.
There are like content creators who look back on their videos and go, oh man, why am I like this? Why? There was a recent one, Chris Broad went back through his very first video and he was criticizing the way the camera was set up, the lighting, the background, and everything like that, and the way he talks and stuff. And he was like, oh, you know, like he's a good presenter now. He's great, he's natural. But when he was criticizing his first video, I was like, oh yeah, I can see that. It's kind of like how we like you got to put more thought into it. Like it's weird, like you got to put more thought into your backgrounds now. I was like, I can't just have like it's got to be like do you know what I mean? Like there's videos where I've just had like it's just a plain background. I'm like, that's good. And I'm like, oh, now you got to put more thought in it. And just like, oh, it's just like worried about that and stuff like that.
That's why I packed myself into this very small, crowded, comfortable alcove for every video. Every time I'm on camera, I'm literally sitting on a drum stool and my back is killing me. But it's the only place I can actually have a decent backdrop behind me.
But like you're talking back to me. I find it easier when you're talking.
Yeah, you're bouncing off of someone.
When you're doing it on your own.
When you're doing it on your own, you're hyper analyzing everything because you know someone's going to be watching it. I mean, even us, someone's going to be watching it. It might only be 4 or 5 people, but you know someone's going to be watching it. So you're just constantly kind of in your own head thinking, all right, is this okay? Is that okay? Do I look okay? Should I buy this T-shirt?
Yeah, it's just like you start worrying about your appearance. It's like, oh wow, my eyebrows are a bit all over the place. My hair's not in the right place. My beard's a bit long. Have I got like sleep in my eyes? Or you know what I mean? It's like, do I look good? Like
the colors coming off my glasses.
It's just like, oh, but that's a kind of more of a thing I kind of want to do more, like push myself a bit more. That's why I've been doing it. But the more you do it, the more you get into a flow and you get to a rhythm and you become a good quote unquote presenter.
Well, yeah, that's the old saying, fake it till you make it. And there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah. I mean, like I keep using it as a reference, like there's like outside Xbox, they aren't presenters. That's what they're supposed to be more. They're game journalists. They come from a background of the gaming industry. So even they said no, they found it hard to begin with to be in front of the camera and present and sort of give off those sort of, because they're not professionals, they weren't trained in that. They sort of, it's just something they have to learn. But they have the benefit of like having a team behind them to set up the cameras, and you know what I mean,
actual production.
Yeah, like with us, we just use our phones to for cameras to like record stuff, and you know, people are like, oh, you got to get a decent camera. I'm like, well, you look at some of them, it's just like, wow, £400, even that. It's just like, they're like, oh, if you just want a good like a good like mid-range camera, it's like £300. I'm like, holy shit.
I do not have £300.
And see, like even with like the audio, like we used to use the Blue Snowball, and obviously like it started to show its age a bit, and obviously like you need your own mic because you're doing your own videos. So this mic is not too bad, but even this mic is like a low rent sort of mic we have. And the audio is probably like, it's not as good as someone with an expensive setup. I think like the analog sort of, like not the analog, we've got USB mics. There's another form where you actually put them into the jack to, they're supposed to be better ones to use. I can't remember what they're called. Like they're not the USB mics, they're the other form of mics that people use. And they put it through this, oh God, it's like off the top of my head, I can't really think of it, but yeah, it's like even like audio now, you got to think of that. And like if it's peaking, if it sounds crackling and stuff like that, it's just like.
Well, that's the thing. Like I use this mic pretty much for the podcasts, and it's it's a £25 mic. It's not the best thing in the world, but it works for the podcast. Everything else I use just like a headset, because it's kind of, I don't, where I'd actually sit to play video games, I don't have anywhere I could put this mic. So all I can do is like put my headset on and talk through that mic, and those mics aren't very good. So that is one thing I would like to improve when I'm actually making videos about games, and my mic quality. But that's kind of the setup I have now, just doesn't make that very easy. And I used this once, and because I've got it on an arm, I sort of managed to finagle it into a place with a lot of work to have it sort of sitting in front of me while I was playing a game. And all it did was pick up my button presses, something fierce. You could just hear. And I was like, how do I get rid of that sound now? For God's sake. I've like replaced one problem with another. My pillowcase around my hands, how am I supposed to deaden that? I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments below, how do I get rid of controller noises? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to improve. Like, I'd like to improve our production quality generally, but that is, again, it's money. We use Shotcut, which is kind of shit. None of us like it. It constantly freezes up, even on like a big, powerful desktop. It will just freeze sometimes, and yeah, neither of us like using it, but we use it because it's free. And you know, for a free piece of software, it's quite powerful, but it runs like an absolute pig. It likes to occasionally just throw your work out. And I'd like to use something better and something more professional, but it's like, you know, you want to use like Sony Vegas or Adobe, whatever the Adobe one's called.
Premiere
Pro, isn't it? Yeah. And it's like, you can't even just buy it outright now. You've got to subscribe to it, and it's like £300 for a year or something. Mad like that.
It's because it's
just like, I can't afford to do that. It's just crazy.
Because you get the updates and stuff like that, and the new ones, and it kind of saves you money in the. Well, actually.
Well, does it? Because you could buy it once and then just use it for a good few years, and it'd still be fine. But
yeah, because you don't just pay for one; it's the whole package. You buy the Adobe, InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere and After Effects and stuff. So it kind of, you're not just paying for one thing; you're paying for everything, and you get all the updates, and anything that's wrong with it, glitching and stuff, it updates it and fixes it. So kind of, that's what you're paying for. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, it's like the mic, even the quality, the audio quality, the video quality is not. These are not even very good. These are HD cameras, but they're still
allegedly.
But if you look at the quality, it's still like look fuzzy, blurry. I
Then
was
it's some
thinking,
cheap
mm,
piece of crap, no name thing off of Amazon.
yeah,
Again,
and
for like 25 quid. But the thing is, like, you used to be able to get a good Logitech webcam for like 30 quid. And then when the pandemic came around and everyone was working from home and working via Zoom meetings, everything went up by 100%, if not more. And suddenly, like, those Logitech 30, 40 quid webcams are 80, 90 quid. And which is why we have to use these kind of crappy ones. But like, neither of us are well off, and we don't make any money on YouTube, so it's kind of it's just, even if I had 300 quid to spend on Adobe Premiere Pro, it'd be a very bitter pill to swallow, given that we don't make any money back from it. I mean, it'd give me the satisfaction of being able to make better videos, and that would be, I think that would be worth some money. But it's
yeah.
just knowing that it's like quite a big outlay for me, and that I wouldn't actually get that money back in any sense is just kind of holding me back. But I just wouldn't be able to drop 300 quid on editing software anyway, even if I wanted to. So we're kind of stuck where we are in terms of the quality of our output, I think, for the time being. And it is frustrating because I think better quality videos, they wouldn't necessarily get us monetized, but we'd feel, I think we'd feel a bit prouder about our content
Yeah,
than we maybe
it's
do
that sort
for
of
some of us.
polished look you want, isn't it, really? But when we were doing purely let's plays and we didn't have to show our faces or anything, what we had was fine. You just need a good Elgato capture card, a decent-ish mic, what we used. So it did for the time, but now that we're sort of like trying other things, what we have, the tools that we have available to us is quite limited. But you've got to make it best with what you got, and we just got to like with me, I'm like sort of buy things, like with yourself, you buy things here and there. So you do like sort of buy a bit more like things that you need. Well, like for the mic and camera, we needed them, so we bought cheapish ones just so we can have them. But I probably would like to buy a Logitech one. There was one on Amazon for like 60 quid. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, but in the long term, it's probably like a good investment because the quality of the video, like it will be better, and it just make the video look a bit more professional, if that's the right word, because that's what like we hope we want to do. We look a bit more polished and a bit more together, because like we got to that point in especially like YouTube, where people like seem to like have the best equipment available to them from straight away. Even when they start out, I was like, how the fuck are they getting? And they were like, oh, I put a lot of money into that. I'm like, damn, man, like, because they go into the YouTube thing for whole hog. They put the money in, and they're just like, well, I've got to make it. I've got to make
Gotta have the money to put in the first place, though.
well, that's it, man. They take out a bank loan or credit card or something like that, man, and just put the money, buy it, and then hope to God that they get recognition of it, which some do. I mean, I say like a lot, but obviously like the creators that I watch, obviously they made it because their algorithm and the algorithm, the subscriber count is a million minimum. They obviously, and then they can sort of evolve and invest in better equipment. But you see some of the equipment some of these YouTubers have, and it's just like, wow. Even like streamers, it's just like, oh god, the PCs they use, all the accessories they use, it's like, holy shit.
Oh, their nano leaf behind them on the wall.
Yeah, it's just
Everyone's got to have that now.
Yeah, but it's a shame, like when YouTube first started and the Let's Plays thing were they reached their peak at like in the mid 2000s. You had people like the Game Grumps and stuff like that, and Two Best Friends and like the Rad Brad, and they were just like people just knocking like Let's Plays out, and they were getting, and before like YouTube sort of clamped down on copyright and vulgar language and stuff like that, because now like you can't even swear on YouTube. Like you're allowed one F, one fuck, and
Everybody
that's it.
gets one.
It's basically a PG-13. Like you get one, and that's it. You can't use any sort of. And with us, it's hard because I do swear. I mean, obviously, I don't swear as much as I did in our early videos, but it does tend to happen. But we're not monetized at the moment, so it's okay. But if we ever do, I think a lot of our videos probably wouldn't get that green tick beside the videos, because it's just some stuff in there that's
We're
a bit
too
naughty.
foul.
I know,
Especially
like,
the early days when Dan was on the channel.
yeah, he likes to play things very not close to the chest, but he likes
Close to the knuckle.
knuckle. That's the word. Yeah, we love him. He's our friend. Sometimes it's like, oh man, come on, you can't.
He likes to provoke a reaction at times.
Yeah, and like, yeah, this like there's some stuff he not into, but the memes, like he likes memes, but sort of like dank memes, some stuff you might find on 4chan or something like that. But
he's not that bad. He's not 4chan bad.
He's I'm just like trying to say that sometimes he wouldn't get banned, but it's just his sense of humor could some people might think is a bit naughty, but he doesn't mean nothing. But he's a good guy. But like, yeah, man, it's just another year done of YouTube, and I think would you say, like, if I ask you a question, if you compare from when you started to where you are now, is it different then, or?
What do you mean? Is the process different, or do I feel different, or do I
No,
feel
like,
YouTube itself is different?
Yeah, no, like how where we started to where we are now. Is it the same? Like,
I think we're a lot better at it than we were, but a lot of that is just going to be down to experience, because we've been doing this for a fair while now. This is we're going into our 5th year now.
it would be in February, 5 years.
Yeah. So I think we're both a lot more comfortable doing it now. When we first started it, obviously our early videos sound comfortable and confident, but it's because partly we were drunk, and partly there were 4, sometimes 5 of us in the room, because we used to do this around Dan and Nikki's, and there'd be literally 4 or 5 of us on mic at the same time, and we were just literally like having a get together, getting drunk and playing video games, and just happening to record it. So we probably sounded very confident and forthright in those early videos, but yeah, we were just kind of drunk. But I think we're more comfortable with it now, a bit more confident in our own abilities. We've tried a range of different things as well. So, like, we kind of started off doing like quick looks, really.
That's how it started off. Yeah,
that's how we started off, just playing like a random game and talking about it, and then we moved into let's plays fairly early on, and then we did that almost exclusively, really. It was mainly that, and then the odd event video for a good long while. So we've gone through a lot of different stuff, like the quick looks, the let's plays, event videos, the exploring Game Pass stuff. All started doing reaction videos fairly recently, and we'll probably do more of those. Unboxings, we used to do the odd like swag videos when we'd go out for a day and just like maybe like go around retro game shops or something, and then we'd just stop at a pub and just sort of like video what we'd picked up throughout the day. Haven't done that in a while because we haven't been anywhere, but we've done a lot of different. Yeah. This is kind of I say this when I'm doing an unboxing. Like, apologies for the ghetto unboxing, but that is kind of the ethos of the channel in a sense, because we don't have the money for all this equipment as we were just talking about. And it's like the Endwalker unboxing video I just did. The other side of, well, it'll be over a week once this video actually goes up, but a few days ago since I recorded it, and I'm recording it like I've got my phone in one hand and I'm trying to unbox everything with my other hand, and it's You know, I'm not doing that because I'm lazy. I'm doing that because that's the only option I have. I don't have a camera or a tripod or anything like that. I don't have the space to set that stuff up to like professionally shoot it. So you know, we're just trying to do the best we can with what we've got, really. But yeah, I do think we're more comfortable with where we are, where we've come from. What about you?
Yeah, like you say, mate. It was just like when we started, we were just like a bunch of pissers, just like got a game capture card, so we'll just meet up, grab a load of beers, spend the whole day just recording and drinking. It was more like a social thing, and that's how it was. Like I think the drinking thing was like more like, I know our tag is we play video games, we drink beer and play video games, which is true. We do, but it's less now because obviously you can't do that with every video because like probably like the time you do it, maybe recording in the morning, you can't drink then, and you don't want to do it by yourself because that's just a bit sad. But it was like when we first started, it was just like, yeah, get together, play, and we used to eat crisps and stuff when we did videos, and yeah, that was like people eating
Very
nuts
noisy.
and people eating cereal. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh,
Damn.
at the time it was just like, oh, that's okay. And then we were like listening back to us, like, it doesn't sound good. It's like there with his like bowl of cereal and just eating it like he's just got out of bed or something. I'm just like, yeah. I kind of feel like when we said that to him, was like, oh, there's no eating. You can drink, but there's no eating because the mic picks it up and it just sounds horrible. And from that day, he decided he didn't want to be part of the team. Yeah, but it was like eating nuts, cereal.
You can snack between videos, not during.
We did it. Like if you watch our Life is Strange, a couple of earlier, there's us like eating crisps, like that sounds horrible. Even though we're being quiet, it still picks up. It just doesn't sound good. I was just like, oh, it doesn't. I don't want to listen to these guys like eating their fucking dinner.
And we are these guys.
Yeah. So like, but I think the big change is obviously dropping the Let's Plays. Our video count was quite high because we were uploading nearly every day, just Let's Plays and stuff. So I remember once we had like 3 or 4 Let's Plays going at once, but that
became a pain in the ass to schedule as well. It's like, okay, what day are you putting this one up? Okay, I'll put this one up that day. No, that doesn't work because I've got to put this one up there. Yeah, it became a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, like I'm more happy to slow the output down, but put more care into the videos. You know, if I have to spend like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, like editing this podcast doesn't take that long, but it used to because I put a background on it and put like a beginning and ending song on it and everything like that. And you know, that does take some time, and obviously got to crop everything, especially on my laptop. It took longer to process, but my PC should take quicker. But
now you're on PCMR.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just yeah, it's just like I feel like we have, and I quite like the fact that we are sort of trying different things and different formats and types of videos, and I think like after a while, being just a Let's Play channel would sort of be quite limited. Even though we did have like events, we even got like music from fucking Distant World on there, which I'm surprised it hasn't been claimed or taken down yet. I think our highest video is actually your Dragon song from Distant World.
I think it is.
It's like 30,000, but I don't think that's been claimed.
What, that was 2017 as well, I think, wasn't it?
No, yeah, no, 2019.
No, it can't have been 2019.
I think it was. No, how many times have we been Distant World?
Twice, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the second time was the 30th anniversary, which was 2017. But yeah, those videos do well. I say do well. You've only had like a few of them go up on one occasion, but yeah, stuff like that does really well, like live stuff and event stuff, and
Yeah, that Dragon song was on the 17th of May 2019.
Was it really?
Yeah, I see. I'm looking at the description. Yeah,
yeah, because it was not long after we came back from Japan. You're right.
Yeah. See, it was the first time we went. I kicked that beer over Dan,
and he still hasn't let you forget it.
He hasn't. He hasn't. I was just like, oh, this is not going to end well. My foot got caught in because that fucking guy wouldn't move, like to let us through the aisle.
Not move, would he?
So we had to.
That was right at the beginning of the night as well.
Yeah,
he had to sit there smelling a beer for the whole night,
covered in beer. And my beautiful Asahi beer, and I blame my sister because she was leaning over me right where my foot was. I was just like, I can't get my foot. But anyway, yeah, it's just I think it does look different from the channel. Like obviously the artwork is different. I've actually paid an artist to do our artwork and stuff. So our banners are different. Which I quite like. I quite like the style of it. And obviously, like another video we've done, which we'd never done before, was a watch along. We watched the Night of the Living Dead, and I thought that was really fun. I like that. I quite want to do.
That was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to doing next Halloween one where we do another royalty-free video. So that it's like different things, and hopefully next time we'll be able to get our video feed on there. Now that I'm not using my laptop, that couldn't handle having Zoom on there and everything open. So yeah, those sort of things are interesting to do. I mean, I think like we've got some other ideas for videos that we want to try, and probably discuss it when we meet up next week. But yeah, I think like
and maybe even that will be in the video, because we're going to do a little bit of a video next week when we finally meet up.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like a big in-depth thing, but we'll get something up, because it's our like Christmas. It's our Christmas party essentially, but not in Downing Street, because that's not allowed. But they'll do it anyway because they're bastards.
Yeah, so we'll be putting up that'll be like the end of the year Christmas video. So that'll probably be the last video we'll put on the channel unless something comes up that we have to put up. But I'm pretty sure that'll be the last one. And this will definitely be the last.
There with bells on.
This will be the last podcast. So bye 2021. Hello 2022.
Another year of shit.
I really hope that we can go to the LAGC. So I'd like to go back there because it was good fun. We'll do another video there if all things permitted, and maybe talk to one of the organisers. Go, hey man, come on, this is our channel. Come on, and go to a game of Chums.
Hand our business card.
Yeah. We're big. We're big time.
This is just written in biro. Yeah.
That's it. That's how we roll. And then give them a little cheeky slap and walk off.
Could be worse. Could be in pencil.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I think we've been going for like nearly 2 hours now. Something.
It's been a long one. We've had a whole year to look back on and
to condense.
Yeah, as you say, the year has flown by because I mean, most years are fairly similar, one to the next, but it very much feels like 2021 has been 2020 part 2. It's just been the same thing again, really. I mean, obviously, the main reason for that being a global pandemic. But this year just it's crazy how fast it's gone. It's just absolutely flown by. And we're already heading into 2022, and I guess we're going to see how that one goes.
Who knows, man? Like, I would like for the future of the channel, I would like the podcast to do like get more sort of. I would like to have like guests, but maybe not our friends. Just like if we could, like, who knows, man? Like, get some indie developer on here or something like that, just to talk, and we can talk it to them and stuff. Just get like, do you know what I mean? Just something like more, just like
Let's tweet at Rahul Kohli. He'll go on anything.
Yeah, I'll be starstruck, mate. I'll be like, and he'll be like, "You're right, fam. what's up with you, bro? I'm like, hey, take it easy, man. Like, come on, we're all from London here. Let's not start a war or something. But I don't know, like you could, who knows, man. Like I would like, I keep like maybe some sponsors. Who knows? Maybe we'll start a Patreon. I don't know, man. Like I always thought I got like ideas for like designs for like merch and shit, but that's not going to happen until a minimum of getting monetized and your view figures go up. But I do have like ideas for like t-shirt designs and hoodies and stuff, because everyone does that. Who doesn't do that, man? But that's something that will definitely, like, the channel would have to be more sort of like bigger, if you know what I mean. But also doing Twitch now. Want to do that a bit more, but time permitting. But yeah, man, like there's some like, hopefully like this, it can grow more. Do you know what I mean? Because like when we started, like, oh, we got 10 subscribers, got 30.
I remember that
People
when we hit
hit
100, we were
hundreds.
like, "What? We've got
We
100
did
subscribers!"
we did a thank you video, and then we were like, and then when we hit 1,000, we were like, should we do a thank you video? And we didn't do one.
But yeah,
So,
this year has been very slow for growth.
yeah.
Like we hit 1,000, like what, the end of last year, was it? Right at the end of last year, I think.
Yeah, end of last year.
And then this year we got up to 1,100, I think, fairly early on, and we've pretty much just stayed there.
Yeah.
Like, I think we hit 1,100 within like a month or two of hitting 1,000, and then we haven't gone anywhere since. It's just completely flat.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not too sure what's happened there, but yeah, it's sort of like just died. Like, because what I still do, I put up, like, if there's like people go, oh, put your links in. I don't know, like, some people might frown upon that, but a lot of people do it because it's so hard to get exposure and people to look. So just put you on Twitter, go, oh yeah, check out our channel, and we do get people go, oh, I'll sub to your channel, can you sub that? I kind of knew that was going to happen, that will happen, because people want that back. But it's best to let it grow more organically. If people like it, they'll subscribe. Obviously, like, it would help if more of our friends fucking subscribe. I keep saying that, man. We have like mutual friends that are into gaming, and they even have their own Twitch channels and stuff, and we post on Facebook and stuff, and no one of them has actually, I don't
Can't
think,
even
subscribed.
buy a like on Facebook, let alone a subscription.
Yeah, so it's a bit annoying when that happens. We don't say anything like to them,
because we're not bitter.
Yeah, but I kind of like would like them to actually like share our stuff around, but there you are, man. Yeah. But
well, I think that's about going to do it for our personal appraisal for 2021. I think we've been fairly candid about our own personal growth, in a sense.
Yeah.
And things we'd like to focus on, hopefully get better at for the year ahead.
Yeah, man. I would like to get better on like the podcasting side of it as well. Yeah, like, obviously this started this year, and this is our end of year one. Like, we are, in a sense, we are presenters, quote unquote, big quotations there. But that's what we are doing. That's how most podcasters start, you know. They just they just start a bunch of mates and then they grow. It seems like everyone nowadays has a podcast as well. It's one of those things that's even us. Like, everyone's like got a podcast, but there you are, man.
If you happen to enjoy our podcast, because this doesn't, not like nobody watches these, it gets some views. If you happen to enjoy them and you come back every fortnight to watch them, help us out and share them around to people you think might enjoy it. And let us know in the comments if you are enjoying this stuff, because obviously we do it because we enjoy doing it. If we didn't, we'd just stop, because we're not making money off of it. But it's always gratifying to hear if someone else is enjoying it too. So if you do get any enjoyment out of these podcasts, then yeah, do drop a comment below and let us know. And if there's anything in particular you want us to discuss in a podcast, because we're always thinking of themes for episodes and stuff.
If you've got any questions, like, please leave them in the comments on the YouTube comments or on our Twitter page. Leave a comment, or if you want to email us directly at gameworthchums@gmail.com, send us a question on that. We'll be more than happy to answer, man. Yeah, as long as it's tasteful and respectful. None of this, what do you think of Gamergate and stuff like that? None of that shit. Get that out of there.
No politics questions.
No stuff that, if you have a working brain, you would know about and have the moral. You know what I mean? Just be a good person. Cool. Well,
what a way to sign off. Be a good person. We'll see you next year.
See you next year, guys.
I guess, our appraisal of 2021. And thanks for listening and watching if you're on YouTube. And obviously this is, as always, available on many podcast platforms like Spotify and Google Play and Amazon, and also visual version that you may be watching right now on YouTube, which always goes up. So you can see our wonderful faces and Paul's desert island. And hope you all have a good festive period, whether you celebrate Christmas or anything else. Hope you have a lovely end of the year, and we will see you in 2022.
Thank you, baby Jesus. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Bye.